Hey, this is Matthew Armstrong and welcome to day 37 of our 100-day juice feast. Victoria won't be joining us this evening. She's got a project on, she's got to get that deadline done, so I'm just doing the video here. What I want to talk about today, well, first of all, check out the juice today. Delicious juice, check it out. Today we have cilantro, big bunch of cilantro, like to get the herbs in. We also got some ginger, love the ginger, it gives a nice zing to it. And they're very good for you. And we also have lemon, nice and peeled, and we have some apples. We also got some cucumbers from the juice and some celery, a bunch of celery there. Always love putting the celery in, you get the natural sodium from the celery. And we also got Swiss chard. Just want to show you the size of that. Check out that leaf, that is huge. So you can just see that what we're getting here is we're getting the sun's energy is coming in. The sun's information, its energy is coming into this. And then we're taking this and then we're putting it in our body, so we're actually taking sunlight into our body through the greens. That's been converted into chlorophyll and everything. And our blood is like one molecule off the exact same makeup of chlorophyll. So we want to get as much chlorophyll into the system as possible. Very, very good for the blood, very cleansing for the blood, very purifying for the blood, and incredibly alkalizing and great for our health. Something else you'll notice is, you know, we rotate the greens quite often. It's never really all the same greens. Sometimes we'll have spinach, sometimes we'll have parsley, sometimes we'll have different types of lettuce. And we're always rotating the greens because greens contain small amounts of alkaloids. And in small amounts, alkaloids do no harm at all. But in large amounts, they're poisonous. And so if you're taking in just one green vegetable, just say you're taking in spinach all the time, you're taking it solidly, a lot of it every single day for at least a few weeks or a few months, those same alkaloids will build up in the system and they can cause problems. So it's always great to rotate your greens. It doesn't matter so much the fruits like the cucumbers and the apples and things like that. You know, they don't contain any alkaloids, or in very, very minute amounts, like tiny amounts that has no effect. But definitely the greens, when I say greens, I mean things with leaves on them. The greens, they're different to the vegetables, they're greens. So with those, rotate them definitely every couple of weeks or something, or every week, so you're always getting different greens. You're also going to be getting different nutrients that you might not get in the spinach or the celery or the parsley. So that's a good idea to do that. Okay, that's juice. So you got to try that juice. It's really, really delicious, really tasty. Really good. So something else I want to discuss today was how I've been feeling this week. Is I've almost been feeling like I want to distract myself or hide from myself in some way, and I've been getting that quite a few times during the week, and then it feels like I'm very vulnerable and there's nowhere to hide. And I'm talking about like hiding from myself, and we all distract ourselves and hide from ourselves in different ways. And when you're doing something like this, you're taking away the distractions, you're taking away the different ways to hide from yourself, and then stuff starts to come to the surface. So for example, a lot of movement has been happening in my back this last week, where it's been cracking and moving around and things have been releasing. And quite often when we hide things from ourselves, we hide them where we can't see them. We hide them behind us in our back, and then they turn up as injuries, as stiffness, as things in the vertebrae where they seize and things like that. So hope that makes sense. And we all do it in different ways. Like we'll distract ourselves with food. Food is probably the biggest one. When we're not feeling so good, or something's going on in our life, and we just go boom, we just go for the cupboard and we just stuff ourselves with food, and that sedates us. It makes us heavy and it sedates us, and then this stuff goes away. Or we put on the TV and we'll just watch some mind-numbing TV, and it distracts us from ourselves. It distracts us from dealing with the deeper parts of ourselves, the darker parts, the issues. And there's so many ways to distract us. Alcohol's a huge one, going drinking on the weekends, just completely distract ourselves from life, really. So there's a ton of things and different forms of entertainment, and so many things. But food, drink, entertainment, those are major ways that we distract ourselves. Listening to music even is another way. It just gets us out of the things. So I don't do that or anything like that. So being on the juices, you're becoming very, very light, and you're not doing anything to distract yourself. You're not doing anything to sedate yourself. So these denser things in the body, they have to start surfacing, they have to start coming out, and that's what happens. And coming up to close to day 40 now, which is you know, historically like a major time for cleansing, and fasting is 40 days, and I feel this on a very deep level now. Things really shifting, a lot of light coming in and shining lights on the darker parts of myself maybe. So to give you an example, there's a friend of mine came to stay with me once, and he just came around for the afternoon, and I had to go out for a while. I left him in the house for an hour by himself, and this when I was living, years ago when I was living by myself, and I didn't have a TV, I didn't have a radio, I had no form of like entertainment in the house like that, because it's just something I never really did. I was just happy with books and, you know, writing and just being in my own company and meditating things. And so he was in the house, and I walked out, and he went to turn on the TV, and there was no TV. He went to turn on the radio, there was no radio in the house. He didn't know what to do with himself. He spent a whole hour in the house pacing up and down the room, not knowing what to do with himself, feeling very, very uncomfortable, very, very agitated. And when I came back, he's like, I was going crazy there. He says, you don't have a TV, you don't have a radio. And so he only spent an hour by himself in a room with no distractions. And that was enough to, you know, to put him in chaos, to put him in this like uncomfortable state. So the more you put yourselves in those situations, the more you'll become comfortable, and the more you'll release different things. And so that's just an extreme example of someone who's, if you can't spend an hour by yourself, then you know, then you got to start doing stuff like that to be comfortable within yourself. Otherwise, you're distracting yourself from yourself, giving yourself constant stimulus, whether it's other people, whether you're constantly talking with other people back and forward, or whether it's listening to the radio, or whether it's watching TV, or whether it's you know, stuffing yourself with food, or drinking alcohol, or smoking cigarettes. All those things are distractions, and we all need some distraction in our life, a little bit, no more than 20%. But the problem is most people have 80 to 90% distraction in life, some 99 to 100% distraction in life, and the only time that we don't is when we're asleep, and when we're asleep the conscious mind is turned off. Okay, so ways to get out of that: juicing, meditation, spending time by yourself. These are things that will start to release the denser manifestations that are in our body, the dense emotions, the injuries and things, that they'll start to come out. And that's what I'm experiencing this week, is a deepness of that, where on a very deep level I've been feeling like I want to distract myself with something, and there's nothing to distract myself with, and stuff's coming out. So I'm really feeling that now, and that's what I wanted to share. So I hope that's been helpful, and you can kind of relate to that in some way in your own life, and maybe benefit from it in some way. Okay, so that's us for today, and we shall see you again tomorrow. Make sure, keep juicing, keep the light. My name is Matthew Armstrong. Take care.